And joining us right now, former State Department senior advisor under President Trump and President George W. Bush, former North Korean human rights deputy special envoy Christian Whiton is with us this morning. Christian, good to see you. Thanks very much for joining us.
Morning, Maria.
A lot has taken place already this morning. Your reaction?
You know, it's looking good, especially I think the most significant news to come out of what Pompeo just said was basically that their initial interactions with the North Korean delegations have gone well, and what they're trying to accomplish may end up sooner than expected. And still an atmosphere of realistic optimism. Saw a Secretary of State, really, man and moment are meeting up very well, taking a shot at the New York Times for a little bit of fake news, you know, basically assuring us, and I think this is a key point, that the president isn't winging it, that he has in fact done a lot of preparation. There's some talk about boxes going on Air Force One or not. Whenever the president travels abroad, there's an enormous amount of classified information that travels with him, so really nothing out of the ordinary here. Yeah,
so what should we look at in terms of success? What should we be watching for this meeting in the next couple of hours?
You know, I think with the president having one-on-one plus translators, first off, it'll be very interesting if we get any glimpse of the atmospherics after that. The president is, of course, extremely candid. And so, you know, he said, especially if there's any talk about maximum pressure, which is the term for sanctions that we've done since the beginning of the Trump administration, and which recently he has set aside for the negotiations, any reference to that would be very bad. Certainly any preparations to leave or to curtail later meetings would be very bad. I think. And the flip side of that is, you know, an extension of the summit, of additional things coming onto the schedule that may not have been anticipated would be a good sign.
Christian, it's Dagan McDowell. How closely are the North Korean delegation and even Kim Jong-un paying attention to the words and body language of a Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, at this point? Because he has a very different presentation than the president, but his words dovetail with the message from President Trump.
Yeah, I think that's a key point, and the North Koreans are looking at this very intently, trying to read people. They rely a lot more on that type of information because their means of collecting technical intelligence from satellites and things like that is a lot less than our capabilities or other nations, just because of their own situation. And I saw, you know, the Secretary's confidence, too, especially about talking about the G7, where, you know, the Canadian Prime Minister and French President and German Chancellor tried to gang up on the president. Didn't work. I think you see the president was together with Italy's president and Japan's prime minister standing up against sort of the nonsense that happened there. And Pompeo saying that really doesn't matter. I think, in fact, the North Koreans will interpret what happened in Canada as a sign of strength. The president isn't going to be browbeaten just to go along and get along, that he'll actually stand up for our interests.